Okay. Hi everyone. So this is our shortcomings and wish list video. So as you can see, this GUI is just the first version, and there's definitely a lot that can be added to it. And the way that we wrote the code, it's very versatile. So there shouldn't be a lot of problem with adding stuff or modifying some of the things to include more stuff. So, for example, one of the things was to add a scroll bar for the installed plugins list. Because, for example, if you have like 100 plugins installed, you don't want to be scrolling down through the whole page. You just want to be scrolling through that particular list. So that is one of the things that can be added. Um, Also, the the pipeline assembly area itself, the way that it works right now is it's linear and it's static. So what that means is that it works like the input for the first plugin and then the output for the first plugin is always the input for the second plugin. But this is not necessarily the case in all kind of pipelines. Like it could be, for example, the case could be that the output for the first plugin is the input for the fourth plugin, for example. So in that case, we would make these arrows dynamic so that they're actually pointing to the correct box. That is also one of the things that can be added. And also, we would apply a check for intermediate plugins to see if they're like if the output and input files are actually compatible with each other and they're in the right order. Um, Also, we can have so the design features and the scheme for sure can also be improved upon. Um, and There should also you can include like a button or a way to run the software Pluma itself through the interface, because right now the only thing that it does is like it saves the config file, but then you have to actually put like manually put the config file into Pluma and then run it, which is all through the terminal. But you can add that as an option too in the interface itself. And another thing that you can add is creating a desktop like shortcut to run the application, like have an icon and everything instead of running it through the terminal. So that's also like an extra step, like that some people who don't have a coding background would be scared by just because it's the terminal, even though it's just one command that they're running. Um, Also, the pipeline, again, coming back to the pipeline, one thing that you can also add is like make it like a share button or something, so you can share it with other people who want to use the same like assembly of plugins, like same pipeline. And so that also ties back into having a list of saved and installed pipelines. So it will be kind of like right next to the list of installed plugins, maybe. And you can have a scroll bar through that as well. So that also makes it easier to save particular pipelines that you've made and share them. So yeah, this interface has a lot of implications in terms of just, like collaborating on like things across the world. Like it won't matter where you are because this is all open source. Um, yeah, so those are some of the improvements that we thought could be made, and yeah, it's all very flexible. So it shouldn't like you shouldn't run into a lot of problems while doing that.
Thank you, Bhavyata.
Thank you.